has allowed me to wake up fat and hot again today. And I'm just here to make it everybody's problem.
Oh, Janice, it would literally be impossible for me to be hotter than I am right now, in this exact moment, at this exact weight.
Fat activists invented body positivity, in particular, fat Black women.
Oh my god, there's fat girls who are still scared to go to the doctor. Oh my god, there's fat girls who still need to take their emotional support water bottle to help them get through the doctor. Oh my god, there's fat girls who have to wear their Taylor Swift Crocs to be brave to go to the doctor. Not a fat girl having a little snacky snack before the doctor, because even though she has a restrictive eating disorder and even though most doctors will tell her she has to lose weight, food is important and everybody needs to eat food. Not a fat girl getting to the doctor's office 20 minutes early because she has anxiety. I did it.
It was hard.
Okay, this is the fatness spectrum. A small fat is a size 18 and lower, 1x or 2x. I'm a 4x, 5x. I'm a size 26, sometimes 28. I am the super fat you say I'm speaking over.
If you ain't at the beach, then where the fuck you at? Oh, cause we outside.
Fat bitch, what do you weigh, like 200 pounds? There's no way you think I'm that skinny. Are you flirting with me?
Things only fat babes will understand, part 2. Starting off with the obvious and my least favorite, because I'm not into toilet stuff, wiping your ass. It's a logistical nightmare. How do we do it? Do we stand? Do we sit? What are we doing? Flying. I talk about flying on here so much, getting seatbelt extended, trying to cram yourself into a seat. Like, it's a lot and it's exhausting. Cars. If you were here a couple of weeks ago, I got stuck getting out of an Uber because it was too low to the ground and the doors were too small. Like, I need a 4-wheel drive. Or a limo. Face sitting. I am now an advocate of if they die, they die, but also, like, I can't pretend I'm not nervous. But we're gonna do it anyway, because it feels good, right? And seatbelts, cars, trains, planes, seatbelts, because you never know how long they're gonna be, and if they don't do up and then the car alarm goes off, it's all just fucking embarrassing. What else will only fat babes understand? Let me know in the comments.
I just want to say that if you're a fat person, you are not a failed thin person. You are not like, there's not a thin person inside of you that's dying to come out. Nobody owes anybody health. There are people in this world that will never be able to fit the westernized standards and values of health. Ever. No matter what they do, no matter how many vegetables they eat, no matter how many pounds they lose, no matter how many hot girl walks they take, they might never, ever, 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 ever be able to present you a clean bill of health. And those people still deserve to exist without harm. They still deserve care. They still deserve empathy. They still deserve respect. And they don't deserve anybody questioning their health or their ability to be alive. In addition to that, Fat people don't owe you shit. They don't. And they will never owe you shit. Fat people don't even owe other members of their community shit. Okay, so let's just work on being critically conscious. And to every fat person out here who is being critically conscious, I love you. Take care.
Shut the fuck up. Shut the fuck up. Shut the fuck up. Shut the fuck up.
I'm sorry, but ex-fat people are kind of the worst. Like, great for you. You lost weight. You did what you wanted to do for yourself, hopefully. Why do you have to bring other people down, though? I'm telling you right now, unlearning fatphobia will help you. We are all fatphobic to some degree, including myself. I find myself thinking things that I should not be thinking because society ingrained fatphobia so deeply that it's just normal and we don't blink an eye.
Who is fat enough to consider themselves fat? That's a question that I get asked a lot on TikTok anytime I discuss fatness, especially when discussing the fatness spectrum and privileges and disadvantages people have based on how small or large they are. Instead of answering the question for myself, I'm going to read you some excerpts from Who's Fat Enough to Be Fat, an essay by Aubrey Gordon, who you may know as Your Fat Friend, or through her podcast Maintenance Phase. Respond, I often ask a deceptively simple question. How do you know when someone else is fat? Where do you set the bar for fat in other people? When do you worry for the health of a passerby? When do you think he shouldn't be eating that or she shouldn't be wearing that? When do you imagine a piteous life for a stranger, certain that they cannot be loved, cannot be happy? How do you know they're fat? Do you decide based on their body mass index, the hasty calculation of weight over height? How do you know their BMI when you look at them? What weight makes someone overweight? What about obese? When does your acceptance turn to worry, worry to disgust, disgust to anger? Is it when their breathing is labored after physical activity? How much physical activity? How deep should their breath run? Do their faces need to flush? Is it based on how you feel when you see a fat person? Do you feel a pang of pity or a spark of rage? Do you imagine the sad sprawl of a short life ahead of her? Do you imagine isolation, bullying, hurt, harm? Do you believe he has tried to lose weight? Did he try hard enough? Do you feel the sharp pull to ask questions or make prescriptions? How do you know when you're fat? Is it when your weight rises by 10 pounds? 5? 1? Is it when your jeans cut into the skin at your waist? Is it when your partner dumps you and you're reminded of the fact of your body? Yes, I choose to believe the people who tell me they're fat. But when I look for my fat people, the community I call home, I think of the people who are united by experiences of widespread, inescapable exclusion. Not just people who have been called fat, as all of us have, but folks who are shut out from meeting their basic needs because of the simple fact of their size. Not just people who struggle to find clothing they like, but people who struggle to find clothing at all. Not just people who feel uncomfortable on buses or airplanes, but people who are publicly ridiculed for daring to board public transport at all. For my fat people, our size isn't just an internal worry, it's an inescapable external reality. We aren't held captive by our own perceptions, but by others' beliefs that we are immoral, unlovable, irredeemable. But that's one of many, many approaches to defining fatness. There are nearly as many definitions of fat as there are people in the world. I hope that gave you some things to stew on and maybe clarified my perspective a little bit. Let me know if you have any questions below.